You aren't broke or exhausted because you lack talent. You are likely struggling because you walk into engineered structural traps that quietly snap shut, extracting your time and money without you noticing. Think of these as silent leaks, the small, repeated habits in your daily routine that slowly drain your energy and empty your bank account over time. This diagram illustrates how your daily focus operates. Imagine your attention is fluid in this pipeline. Every time an app pings or a notification pops up, a little bit of concentration leaks out, leaving barely enough energy for meaningful work. The average person loses about 2 hours a day just to these digital interruptions. When you multiply that across a whole year, it adds up to over 50 full days of work that just disappeared. Clamping down on those distractions is the first step in protecting your most valuable asset. Screens are designed to pull your attention away from your work, but there is a second trap that keeps you from starting the work in the first place: the fear of looking like a beginner. We often protect our pride by pretending to be experts, which stops us from asking the basic questions we need to actually grow. If you want to stop losing ground, you have to protect your daily focus and be willing to look a little foolish while you learn something new. A lot of us spend all day putting out fires, answering low-value emails and reacting to urgent requests. But going to bed exhausted does not mean you actually moved any closer to your financial goals. This graph shows what happens when you freeze up trying to make the perfect choice. You see the price of an asset climbing rapidly, but if you sit on this static, flat line at the bottom, over-analyzing options, the window closes right past you. People who actually get things done don't wait for total certainty. They gather about 70% of the facts, figure out what they stand to lose, make a firm choice, and adjust their course as they go. They also don't waste time hunting for secret shortcuts. Jumping from one quick-fix financial hack to the next usually just drains your wallet while you avoid the actual work. Building real security is simply a matter of picking a reliable, everyday routine and executing it consistently for a long time. Waiting for absolute certainty or a magic trick guarantees failure. Let's talk about what happens when you finally get a raise. For most people, a bigger paycheck immediately turns into a newer car or a more expensive apartment. They instantly lock their new money into permanent monthly bills. This chart shows how the most successful earners manage a raise. As their income goes up, their everyday spending stays completely flat. Instead of upgrading their lifestyle, that surplus of cash flows straight into investments that generate more money over time. Sometimes we also pour our money, or years of our lives, into a failing project or a dead-end job, just because we have already spent so much time on it. Holding on to a losing hand today only ensures you lose more tomorrow. The same logic applies to borrowing money. Taking on high-interest credit card debt for clothes or gadgets actively works against you. You only want to use debt to buy things like real estate or a business, assets that actually pay you back. Buying status symbols to look wealthy to your neighbors destroys your actual ability to become wealthy. It is easy to tell yourself that you will start investing or start taking your career seriously once you hit a certain age or find the perfect market condition. But every single day you wait is a day of growth you can never get back. This chart compares a single dollar invested at age 25 on the left to a dollar invested at age 45 on the right. Notice how the early dollar rides a steep, exponential curve, while the later dollar barely has time to climb. Time is a multiplier, and it shrinks drastically as you age. Because time is so precious, you cannot afford to sit around hoping a politician passes a new law or your employer suddenly fixes your financial situation. Hope is not a mathematical strategy. You also cannot rely solely on expensive college degrees to keep you secure anymore. The modern economy rewards people who build stacks of practical skills, like analyzing data, knowing how to reach people on the internet, or negotiating, over people who just paid for a piece of paper. Postponing action while you wait for outdated credentials or outside forces to save you is a mathematical guarantee that you will fall behind. When you blame the economy, a bad boss, or bad luck for your situation, you give up all your power to fix it. Even when a market storm hits, you still have to grip the wheel, steer the ship, and focus entirely on the choices you actually control. It helps to realize that wealth is not a fixed pie where someone else has to lose for you to win. By solving large problems for others and forming smart partnerships, you expand the market and create fresh value from scratch. Just make sure you are measuring your progress against high standards. If you only compare yourself to peers who aren't pushing themselves, it is very easy to feel successful while you are barely growing. Ignoring these daily habits and structural traps means trading your best years for a bank account that stays flat and a whole lot of frustration. If you want to stop the leaks and build the systems required to protect your money, subscribe to the Money Formula right now. Drop your biggest execution takeaway in the comments below and take action today so you don't pay the hidden price of waiting.